nation of states presents an immediate military threat to China. Yet, even a casual perusal of Chinese commentaries on the trends in global and regional international affairs demonstrates that this is not the case. From Beijing's perspectives, the world in which China now exists is far from the world it desires. I hope you agree with it. China's perspectives of the world order is thus problematic for the other major powers of the world. Contemporary history suggests that although China has benefited a lot from the US-led global order, it is still dissatisfied with the existing status quo. For example, after joining the WTO in 2001, China progressed a lot in terms of trade and commerce. However, it still finds the US-led liberal global order problematic. Although the US has never interrupted China's energy supply, yet China strongly believes that the US is here to hamper its energy securities. As a result, China wishes to establish maritime dominance in the Western Pacific in order to control the flow of energy trade. And let's not get into the birth of the virus. These are the various examples of China's belligerent behavior. Well, to enlighten us more on this topic, we have with us tonight a very special guest, Mr. Solomon Yue, who is the Vice President of and CEO at the Republican Overseas, RNC member since 2000, co-founder of RNC, that is the Republican National Conservative Caucus, and Conservative Steering Committee. So, Mr. Solomon, can we proceed with the questions tonight?
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank
So
you for having me.
We are really obliged to have you over here on board, and I'm sure you would enlighten us and expand the territory of our knowledge to a great extent. So
Yes,
here
you can
goes the
introduce sir also, Solomon sir, give a brief bio.
yeah. Sorry, yeah. So I was just about to. Yeah. So Sir Solomon Yue was born in communist China. He escaped in 1980 to America. Only knew Thank You and Coca-Cola, worked two jobs to put himself through his BA and MBA courses. He started his medical glove business, and he then ran for Republican National Committeeman for Oregon and got elected in 2000. Then he have been elected four more times to the 168 member RNC with I think 10 seniority, and he's also the Republicans Overseas Vice Chairman and CEO, as I have earlier mentioned. So he's a great man, and we are really glad that he agreed to give his precious time to us. I'm sure we will have a wonderful chat tonight. So can we proceed with the questions, sir?
Absolutely, and thank you for the introduction.
Thank you so much, sir. You're most welcome as well. So here goes our first question. Sir, China is too far from achieving world hegemony, and we all know that. Then why do you think is China claiming, especially after the US withdrawal from Afghanistan, that the US hegemony has ended?
Actually, we never seek hegemony in the first place. And but at the same time, if you take a look what happened, we just got a hit, and the world just got a hit by CCP virus, which is the COVID or Wuhan virus. And in my mind, I believe this is a bio attack against the world. And within that framework, okay, and China already killed over 400 million people worldwide. And if somebody starts something, and we have dead COVID bodies to prove it, they're laying everywhere, including your country too.
Absolutely. We totally agree with you in that, sir. So, sir, do you think China can at all establish a Sino-centric world order without resolving its homeland dispute as it is intending to, the Xi Jinping China, and its homeland dispute includes Taiwan and the regional maritime disputes at the South China Sea and the East China Sea? So without solving them, do you think they can walk in the path of becoming a global superpower?
No, that will never happen. What happened is that uh, they woke up all of us, including India, US, and public opinion has changed. In politics, first thing you do is to do a ground shift on public opinion. Today, 89% of Americans see China as our enemy, not friends, not partner. When you have this kind of number, you know they're ready for bio attack, virus bio attack reparations. And China must pay what they have done to this world economically and as well as the lives and they took. So with that in mind, China economy is tanking. And basically what you see is right now, they can't even pay their people anymore. And I'm talking about retirees. On top of it, and they start going after middle class assets and going after rich people, those billionaires and millionaires, their assets. How long do you think it's going to last? It's not going to last long. And the latest news to me is good news. They already canceled two more aircraft carriers because they're competing with the free world on two fronts: butter, which is economic development, and guns, which is aircraft carrier missiles. When you cancel aircraft carriers, what does that tell you? They can't afford to build more aircraft carriers. You know, I always believe history repeats itself. Remember, USSR was competing with us, with Western world on both fronts, butter and guns. What happened? Reagan's Star Wars program put them in bankruptcy. They can't compete on both fronts. That's how we're going to bring CCP fascist China down without firing a single shot.
Very well explained. That is the only way we can bring it down. So we agree that probably even if it is trying to establish a xenocentric global order, it might not, because I have earlier heard many scholars and Republican politicians saying that US doesn't consider China to be its competitor, while running for becoming a global superpower. Well, in that case, what kind of hegemony do you think China is looking for? Regional, global, and how far is it determined by China's geopolitical constraint and economic supremacy?
I think they are looking for global uh, domination. And the reason I think they're looking for world domination is very, very simple. And if you read unrestricted warfare book, and they tell you what they want to do to dominate this world. And also, they will not use conventional weapons to go after us, including less likely they're going to use nukes. And unconventional weapons, including bioweapons. That's why we see a Wuhan virus as a bioweapon. And the purpose of this is I have no problem to deal with nuclear weapons or nuclear missiles. And we have 18, 20 minutes warning since the minute they launch a nuclear missile. But bioweapons, you can't have any kind of warning until your people got sick. Just like my people got sick and your people got sick. And when that happens, the game is over. Luckily for us, we fought back and developed a vaccine, and their plan backfired. Now they are dealing with the Delta variants themselves, and their economy actually is tanking right now. So for that reason, you would think a nation is willing to use a bioweapon going after us, that means the world, for world domination, for stronger economy. In their mind, this will enable them to surpass us because we all got sick and they didn't. And so from that perspective, they have failed and miserably. And now we are going to go after them for Wuhan virus war reparations. They need to pay.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Well, to add to that, sir, I heard a day or two back that China is also building up its missile silos. So they are also strengthening their nuclear. I do not know from which nation do they think are they facing the existential threat right now. But then, yeah, they were not happy with just spreading the bioweapon. So now they are concentrating more on the nuclear. And even after when their doctrine says that they will not do the first attack, even after that they are doing that. Well, moving on to the next question, sir. How do you think China can exploit the existing liberal institutions, such as the United Nations, to probably establish an imaginative illiberal world order that they are dreaming of?
One of the ways to explore that is paying people under the table. And they have been doing that, not to United Nations officials and also to US think tanks, universities, and pro CCP Chinese organizations in America. And I suspect you would see the same thing, including your journalists, your government officials, everywhere. So buying corrupt people is a CCP way. And so this is how they're going to expand their influence worldwide and for world domination. But just like anything else, when you ran out of money, and pretty soon those payments are not coming, and pretty soon the people got paid are going to turn on you. That's what I see right now.
Yeah, so and to add on to that, what I feel is that communism is such a ideology. It is a lone wolf factor in itself. It doesn't need a strength in numbers like the other world negative powers do, but it can alone, create something into the intellect of people. So that is how we have this left ecosystem built up, not only in our country, but around the world in intelligentsia to academics and everywhere. So that is probably what we call cultural Marxism and names of that, those fashionable names of that sort. So moving on to the next question, and I promise it will be your last question, is that when Britain handed over Hong Kong to China, there was an agreement between Britain and China regarding the political rights of the Hong Kongese, one country, two systems. However, we see that the ongoing crisis of Hong Kong shows that China often violates international agreements, usual trends that it does, in the name of national security. Why should then the international community trust China, which repeatedly practices double standards?
You're absolutely right. We should not trust China whatsoever for one simple reason. Sino and British joint declarations really is a treaty and registered with United Nations. And if you can't honor that, and you're taking away citizens' rights in Hong Kong before 50 years is up, that means you don't respect anyone, any treaty, and we just can't trust China what they say and what they do. And for that reason, I supported Hong Kong pro-democracy demonstrators in their mini constitution. They had right to demonstrate, but now under Hong Kong national security law, those people got locked up, not even for trial anymore. So when you have when you see this kind of travesty, and that's why I call CCP is a fascist regime. They move from a communist regime. They know they can't get away with communism anymore, and they become so-called a Chinese open policy under Deng Xiaoping, and want to bring in technology and money and to grow. And then when they grow, they implement fascism and more government control. During my year back in communist China and Cultural Revolution, you never would have dreamed people sent to concentration camps. I had to worry about, I couldn't keep my mouth shut. And one night they could have made me disappear and my parents pay for the bullet. But I didn't have to worry about my organs will be forced, harvested, and sell all over in the world. So the bottom line is when you reach to a point, you force harvesting organs and you do all kinds of stuff like this, taking rights and killing people. And I always say, Xi Jinping, I call him Hitler. All did Hitler on that regard.
Very true. I like the names that you have awarded to she, our very true hero. All right. So I thought it would be the last question, but your conversation makes me more interested, sir. So if you give me permission, can I ask one
Sure.
or two more? All right.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, sir, you might have noticed that recently in the United Nations Security Council, there had been a resolution passed from, India had been a pioneer in that resolution, which says that, which is addressed towards the Taliban, and which says that Taliban should not allow terror activities in the soils of Afghanistan. And it should also stop promoting or nurturing or giving backdoor support to regional terror outfits like the Jaish-e-Mohammed and the Lashkar-e-Taiba, who are very much backed by the Pakistan's ISI and are very much operational in India. So you must know, sir, USSR, sorry, Russia and China has abstained from
That's
this,
correct.
right? So what do you say about that? Does this abstention mean that they are actually supporting or patronizing the Taliban or abating the Talibans to cultivate terror in their homeland? And what does this abstention mean, sir?
The extension means China wants to have both ways. On one hand, they are supporting Taliban, no question about that. But at the same time, they don't want Taliban support terrorists in Afghanistan, cross the border into Xinjiang. So the idea is it's okay for Taliban support terrorists going to India to kill Indians, but we don't want to see uh, Taliban support terrorists. Those terrorists cross border into China, into Xinjiang, to kill Chinese people. So it really shows a double standard.
Yes, absolutely. It shows a double standard, and I think the world must unite to fight this very
Absolutely.
negative communist powers. And one more question, sir.
Sure.
Would you like to comment about, the Uyghur discrimination that China is doing in its Xinjiang district, and how should the world stand against it? Because many people give many kinds of narratives, but how do you look at it?
I think it's a very, very bad situation in Xinjiang. And on one hand, they put Uyghur children in orphanage. And at the same time, they put their parents in concentration camps. And then they sell their labor to foreign businesses through Chinese middlemen. And at the same time, we also witnessed so-called organ harvesting, forced organ harvesting against them because Middle Easterners want those Muslim organs. They don't take anybody else's organs. So you have slavery on one hand, and you have butchering Uyghurs alive for their to profit from their organ harvesting. And so this kind of tragedy, I always said, we got to stop Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics. And because when you see this kind of stuff, you don't stop it. And then it expands. This time could be Uyghurs. Next time could be Tibetans. Next time could be Chinese dissidents. And when they do this to their own people, think about what would happen when they dominate the world. They would do the same thing to us, you, Indians, and Americans.
Yeah, very true, sir. Absolutely. I totally agree. This kind of violations should be stopped, and we are still yet to discover how to hold China accountable for its major human rights violation. Now, we call sometimes, when we arrive at the end of an event, we ask $1 million question. So I would try to intend $1 million question to you. I mean, to put $1 million question to you, that is, if we have agreed that China, even if it runs for world hegemony, US is not considering it as its competitor. But yeah, to some extent, there are many scholars who believe that China has established itself as a regional hegemony in its own region. So in that sense, there are yet many scholars, or probably China lovers, who believe that the Cold War bipolarization between US and USSR, where USSR would be replaced by China, and we will see another bipolar world where US would be at one pole and China would be at the other. So, do you believe that this kind of situation might arrive in the upcoming geostrategic scenario?
Actually, I'm believing that what we see is free world and versus China, Chinese CCP. And the reason I say that is China's wolf warrior diplomacy and turned everybody against them. And they are doing that. That is their own doing, and Xi Jinping's policy. And to a point, PLA already told China's wolf warrior diplomats, we are
Two
not
songs were
going to
played.
be responsible for an armed conflict with the US because of your big mouth. And actually, that is a direct attack on Hitler. Wolf warrior diplomacy is Xi Jinping's diplomacy. And so PLA got a problem with Xi Jinping. I have to wonder if Xi Jinping really has 100% control of his military. That's why when Xi Jinping pick a fight with India or with Taiwan, I don't see it, to be honest with you, he can win. I don't see it, he can win. He had to worry about his soldiers, his division commanders turn their guns on him via a military coup. So that's why I think if we start put pressure on China. And since the economy is tanking, and we force them to pay for Wuhan virus damages through reparations, and we can bring China down without filing a single shot.
Very well said, sir. That is the only way we can, make China accountable and pay for whatever it has done. So, do you think can we start by boycotting the Beijing Olympics 2022 and show our protest against
Uh,
China?
yes, I support a boycott Beijing Olympics 2022. Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be a very noble step, I think, for all the world powers to, go against this corner, this rogue nation, I must call it. So that is it. And what do you have any message for India? Are we doing great?
Yes, you are doing great, and God bless India, and we will stand with you. Period.
Yes, we can. That is what once someone had told. You remember? America can, so can India. With that message,
Absolutely.
sir, I would like to thank you very, 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 very much for coming and joining us tonight. And we, as a think tank, as a budding think tank, we would like to request your cooperation and coordination to our think tank, and we would like to accept you as a mentor. We would love to get you as a mentor because very less Chinese Americans are there who can be so loud and clear about the message he wants to give to the world. We are really, really impressed and thankful that you have been a part of us tonight. So we will get in touch with
Also,
you.
I will add one more thing, if I may. India is a surging big time. Okay. What I see is we are decoupling with China. Maybe slower than I like to see. However, because of that, India is going to be the manufacturer of the world to replace China. And this is really, really a big deal, okay? Because a fellow democracy in Asia is become world manufacturer, and we can rely on to prosper together. So there is a strong partnership both economically and militarily.
Very, very, very thankful to you, sir. Those are real words of inspiration, and we would not do it without the help and coordination and collaboration from America. And I mean, everyone from America. And we would look forward to hold such wonderful conversation. It was amazing talking to you, sir. Amazing, really amazing, such interaction. And, we think the same way. So that is more important. And we would really have to, I mean, really like to have you on board many more times. We would
Thank you.
probably
I
keep
will be happy
disturbing
to.
you. Thank you so much, sir. So that is it. Abhishek, sir, do you want to say something to Solomon, sir?
Thank you very much, sir. And we will reach out to you for more webinars and discussions, and we will reach out to you for mentoring purpose also. And look forward to read your tweets and regular researches, sir. Thank you, sir, for
Your
being
Thank you.
part.
tweets are wonderful, sir. I must say, keep it up. It's wonderful tweets you do.
Thank you.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
that.
much.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
day, sir. Thank
You
you.
Have a
too.
great day, sir. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye, sir.